There are some secrets that people aren't willing to say, man, which, I don't know, dude, but in this video right here, man, we're gonna uncover the secrets to finding bass or any kind of fish, to be fair. What you want to do is you want to come down at low tide. I'm a little bit late for this tide, but we still have room, and I'll be able to show you. When you come down to a place, what you want to do, you want to look for weed beds at low tide, dude. Like this kind of stuff right here is exactly what you want to look for. Usually when there's some flow in the water, it will create a gully. If you can see right here, there's a little gully where that flow pushes through here. Fish usually will sit right on the other side of that gully, and they'll just wait for prey to come, dude, and pow, smash it up right there. This kind of thing, bass will be really prone to sit right up under that kind of stuff. Oh, there's a fish right out there, dude. I'm gonna have to get a lure out. See, I saw that little fish right there, and he's coming up. That tide is coming in now, and he's gonna sit right on that ledge. I can almost guarantee it. These kind of things right here, where water runs down and the mud is soft, it'll create a gully as that water runs off. The closer it gets to the sea or to the ledge, it'll drop off and make a gully. Bass will sit right in between there. It's only small, but they will sit there and they'll wait because there's some flow. And they're opportunistic, man. If fish are coming down there and it's just gonna be a case of sitting in there and opening their mouth, they're gonna take it, dude. You don't always have to do it at low tide. It's better if you do it at low tide, but there are options. If you get to a mark, you can always look and find what's going on. You look for structure, you look for weed beds, you look for cliffs, you look for all sorts of stuff. Things like weed in the water. Sometimes bass will sit right under that weed and they'll just wait. Weed floats. So the weed that you see on the floor is gonna rise up and it's gonna make a hiding spot for bass, dude. I mean, find your weed beds. That's one of the main things, man, for bass. I mean, if I was hiding, that's where I would be, dude. Right under there, waiting for a little bait fish to swim by and then pow, smash it. Whoa, almost fell over. Another spot that you want to look for, dude, is like, I call these urban spots, man. I mean, where bridges are, right under those bridges, that could be a banging spot. If you see right here, the tide is going out that way, but it's making a back eddy right here, so it's bringing it around. There's flow, there's everything. Over by the boats, probably could be, because you've got some hidey holes for fish to stay in. You've got the middle out there that's possibly a little bit deeper. There's a little bit more flow in it, and you can, whoa. And if you get a lure out there, when the tide is coming up the river, what you want to do, cast out that way, let your lure slow down this way, and it should be right on top, dude. Don't neglect urban areas, man. This, like boat yards, is an urban area. I mean, you got to make sure that you can get down there. Make sure so you don't get in trouble that there is public right of way. This little spot right here, it's got a public right of way, so you're good to come down. Check for little eddies, check for bridges, structure. Anything that can be structure is going to hopefully hold some fish, dude. Going out to find fishing spots, it's part of the whole thing, man. Google Maps is your friend. I can get on Google Maps and I can be on there for a very, very long time. So Google Maps these days is absolutely, it's just insane. Flicking through Google Maps, find a little area, blow it up. You can see structures there. You can see all sorts of other things. You can see where the weed beds are. You can see where the bridges are, where the rocks are. Google Maps, Google Maps, Google Maps, Google Maps. And then just get out and just go down there, check it out. You never know. Once you get down there, it could be a monster waiting for you, dude. You've got little areas like this after you've Google Maps some stuff. If you can see little islands like that, there's one here, there's one over there. That means in between, that water's pretty deep. It could be a chance. Yeah, look at that. Look how that just drops right off. Boom. That there is deep, dude. When you come out here as well, man, and you're looking for stuff, especially at high tide, that's why it's best to do it at low. But if it is high tide, man, be really, really, really careful. If you have to think, does it drop off right there? Don't. Because you'll end up in 5, 6 foot, 10 foot of water, man. This little island bit right here is pretty sweet. I saw it on Google Maps. They're right there. I don't know if you can see that with the way the camera is, but there's a giant ledge right there. So between this island and that island, all this water right here is a big hole, man. I'm gonna chuck a couple lures out there. Maybe, maybe not. Let's have a look-see, dude. These little islands, that's your structure, man. Because if this drops off right here, that drops off right there. In between is deep. That's where the fish are gonna sit if they're there. This is what you do. February, March, I should have been out here in January, but it's cold. So yeah, that's go out low tide or when the tide is going out so you can see the lay of the land everywhere. Stay until low. Then you can see where you're walking and all sorts of business, dude. I really like this spot. This buddy right here's got some potential, man. Look for choke points too, man. This kind of stuff where it comes out from the big harbor and it goes. That's something to look for. Choke points, all sorts of things, man. At the right time, these choke points, the fish will come from the main part of the channel. They'll come up in here with the tide to feed. And if you could get, well, I wish I could get a lure into that little spot over there. That little back corner bit looks really, really good. It looks like it would hold a few fish. And it's the same kind of tactics, man, that I was using for pike and perch that I didn't get this year. But yeah, I'd use those same kind of tactics. I'm gonna walk over here. There's a choke point. That would, when the fish are in, that would be a good one. That's something to look for, is choke points. There's loads of apps you can use. I've already mentioned Google Maps. There's one that I like to use called Nautide. You can get the tide times, barometric pressure, the coefficiency, bigger coefficient, bigger tide, better fishing is basically how I think of it. But yeah, Nautide, barometric pressure, tide times, fish like activity when they're active the most. I really don't know if it works too good. I really don't know if it's very accurate, but I think it goes by the moon phase, which you can also get. You can get weather on it. There's a free version, there's a paid version. Go check out Nautide, man. It's a really good tool for this kind of stuff. And this is what I mean by this choke point. We were right there. That is a choke point and it's deep. And then we're coming out here. And now the hope is that on the outgoing tide, that water coming from there is where they're feeding, and it's going to push them all out this way. Or they're going to sit right around in here somewhere and wait for all those bait fish to come down. In theory, that's going to work. But those are the kind of things that you got to look for, man. Look for ledges. Look for, like, boats. I can't get a lure over there, but I'm sure that looks like a boatyard. You probably can't get in there without some illegal activity. Don't do legal activity, man. Ledges, weed, bridges, boats, choke points. You'd be able to see this better on low tide. I'll come out and I'll do another one on low tide so we can see how it's going. How did that man get way over there? So yeah, get out, dude, and look. Just go out at low. I know it's not low right now, but go out at low. Find your weed beds. Find your ledges. Find where, if you were a fish, where you would sit and wait for food to come or to hide. Man, I'd be hiding under one of them boats. I would be sitting down in this gully waiting for some food. But that's just me. Think like fish, catch a fish, go on Google Earth, check out Nod Tide, get your butts out and go fishing, man.